This time, I've brought the legendary Brazil '98 squad to the Champions League, aiming to win the most important competition in Europe. Will we be able to conquer it with all these stars, or will we just join the long list of super teams that never won anything big? But right from the start, problems arise. Dunga, the captain of the national team, retires before we can even sign him. And it gets worse. We spent all our money on this guy. Now we're broke. Seriously, everything that could go wrong went wrong. The tournament hasn't even started and fans already want me out. But don't worry, I fixed it. It's a bit of an alternative lineup. I also signed Kaká and Adriano, but in their youth versions, so they won't be much help at the beginning. Believe me, building this super team with the 4 rupees has been a journey. Now the challenge feels more balanced. Can our alternative Brazil squad win it all against some of the most stacked European teams in their prime? Group stage draw begins. The group stage draw begins, and our rivals are Bayern Munich. A tough start, especially with them having the base of the German national team. The next rival in our group is Club Brugge, another tricky side packed with players from the Belgian national team, and to finish off, Rosenborg from Norway. A group that basically feels like we're facing national teams from each country, but I think we can get through it without too much trouble, right? Let's take a look at our first rival. As you can see, most of their team is made up of Belgian internationals, so we could say it's Belgium versus Brazil, but that only makes things more exciting. We do have one absence in the squad, Aloiso, one of the original players for this challenge, but I don't think his absence will affect the match. And so we begin. We get the first chance, a fire shot, but the goalkeeper manages to tip it with his fingertips. But it doesn't matter, because the Brazilian squad attacks again through Ronaldo, the phenomenon, who dribbles past the keeper and scores Brazil's first Champions League goal. Another opportunity for the green and yellow squad. Roberto Carlos crosses to Ronaldo Nazário, who hits a direct shot to extend the lead. But then disaster strikes as one of our key players, Cafu, goes down injured after a tough tackle. It ruins our tactical setup, considering how limited our squad is. But thanks to our brilliant coaching, we pull off a miracle tactic to win it all, or so we thought, because shortly after changing the defense, they get a huge chance. Fortunately, we manage to stop it with a double intervention from the team. Time goes on, and we get another play, but it's blocked by the Belgian side. The tactic hasn't quite paid off yet, but since we're ahead on the scoreboard, we're not too worried for now. Unfortunately, the opponent finds a defensive gap and scores to close the gap. The best defense is offense. Our team pulls off a beautiful combination between Aldair, Ronaldo, and Bibto, getting the keeper out of position and scoring another goal. But once again, our fragile defensive line lets us down and they score again. This era was tough. Elite teams had top players spread all across the leagues, a complicated result. But we managed to push through. Amazingly, in the other match, Bayern loses to our next rival. Even though there were some doubts from the fans about the squad selection, players like Kobayashi showed consistency in the team, and just like that, we head into our second match. The media was starting to praise the team, and with a new tactical decision, we stepped into the cold of Norway to face Rosenborg. Despite the freezing temperatures, the ball found Roberto Carlos, who lined up for a free kick. Known for his insane power, he fired and it's a goal. A fantastic strike that the keeper didn't even get close to. But the Troll squad didn't just sit back. They managed to equalize, dribbling past our keeper. Luckily, we were awarded another free kick. Roberto Carlos steps up again. He shoots it, but this time the keeper reads it well and makes the save. The same technique doesn't work twice on a true night. That save gave them a burst of confidence, and they launched a direct attack, but a miracle sliding tackle deflected the ball to Roberto Carlos, who fired a cannon shot instead of waiting for another free kick. Still, the Norwegians regained possession. Their striker took a powerful shot straight at goal, but Cathero, standing tall in the freezing snow, managed to hold on. Brazil came back alive and attacked with a great pass that ended in a goal by Romário, and nothing the keeper could do. Then Rivaldo took the spotlight, weaving past defenders and finding Romário, who had two options, shoot or assist. He smartly chose the assist, disarming the defense. The experience of a world champion passed on to the next big scorer. We also decided to give a few minutes to the new generation of young talents looking like they could do great things, including the smile of football himself. But not everything could be perfect. In a desperate final attack, the Norwegians tried to close the gap, but Tafarel, with experience in Italy and Turkey, made a goal line save, preserving the win. Bayern München. Keeping our previous lineup and with our star 11 ready for action, we kicked off a match that could be considered a Brazil vs Germany clash, facing one of the greatest goalkeepers in history. This is how we began the battle for the top spot in the group. The brawl begins with Ronaldo, the phenomenon, who opens the scoring at full speed in a one-on-one against Oliver Kahn, while the entire defense tries to catch up with him. Bayern responds with a huge chance, but Tafarel miraculously tips it away with his fingertips. Second opportunity for Brazil. Rivaldo drives the ball forward and breaks through the defense with a perfectly timed through pass for Ronaldo, who simply taps it in. Oliver Kahn tries to stop him with everything he's got, but free kick for Roberto Carlos. He steps up to score, but Oliver Kahn makes an unbelievable save. Still, the goal phenomenon is there for the rebound and punishes with no mercy. Bebdo also pulls off an individual play where he tricks the defender with a feint. The Brazilian team grows in confidence, looking to get a better result than 4-0. They even bring in Ronaldo Nazário till the superscript 8, but Bavarian pride kicks in, and Bayern pulls one back. Still, near the end of the match, we took advantage of the lead we built to start simulating some matches, comfortably beating the Belgian club. Later against Rosenborg, even though the team was still very fresh, I decided to make some adjustments, and we got a good result thanks to our hard-working, silent contributors. With the team at the top of the group and our striker leading the scoring chart, we headed into the final match of this phase. That's how we simulated the last match, winning by the minimum. They offered us another job, but we rejected it because we are all in with Brazil for the next phase, which won't be so easy. The team was finding its rhythm with big wins in the league, and that's how we arrived at the knockout stage clash against Athletic Bilbao. With our new tactical setup and our brilliant star of football's smiley Ronaldo Nazário, who had finally earned his place in the starting 11. He opens the scoring, and shortly after, the second goal comes from Aloisio, who is also starting to cement himself as a key figure in the squad. After a great run from Cafu, we build a collective play between Ronaldinho and Ronaldo, which ends at Romário's feet, extending our lead in the match. Athletic responds and pulls one back with a great shot into the top corner. They try again, but Aloisio shows up like a wall and Cafu clears the danger without hesitation. In the second half, Aloisio starts a brilliant combination with the famous triple R, ending in another goal from Ronaldinho, who is having a stellar performance. Romário isn't left behind and scores again in a classy solo effort. And the score linea broken bar well. It's starting to look like something we've seen before. I know some Athletic fans are watching, so with all due respect, legendary Brazil has finally awakened. We close with a dominant 5-1, Ronaldinho as the man of the match, and eyes already set on the next Gamia broken bar which begins now. Ronaldo is ready to keep increasing the gap. Then our captain Aloisio pushes forward and triggers the triple R, breaking the rival defense and setting up the goal for Ronaldo Nazário. Brazil stays on fire. A 1-2 between Ronaldinho and Ronaldo ends in another goal from the phenomenon. Aggregate 8-1. We give no rest. Julio Cesar joins the attack, takes the keeper out, and lays it off for our number 9 to finish. Athletic tries to respond with a penalty, but our keeper saves Ida broken bar. Because in the very next play Ronaldo shows up again with another goal. The Basque side keeps trying to score, but once again they run into an impenetrable Aloisio. They keep pushing, but Aloisio is a wall at the back and doesn't let anything through. The match ends with 4 goals from the phenomenon and a historic 10-1. All my respect to Athletic. who fought until the final whistle. It was a match that showed us what we already knew: Brazil dances beautifully. But without realizing it, one team was about to put our entire challenge at risk and threaten our chances of winning the title. With their deep and expensive squad, they turned the competition into a nightmare. But remember, if you want to help the team get a few extra coins, you can join the channel memberships. You'll get early access to the videos, exclusive emojis. And if you want to know all the details about the data pack, check out the video showing up on your screen. Subscribe to see how this Brazil challenge ends and for more content like this.